scariest day of my life wasn't the day everything fell apart. It was the day I finally walked away. And I didn't walk away with confidence or a plan or even a clear idea of what came next. I walked away with $300 to my name, a car full of fear, and a heart that wasn't sure it could even beat on its own. If you've ever left something you knew you couldn't stay in, a relationship, a job, a place, a life, well then maybe you'll understand what this time felt like. Because I didn't leave when I was brave. I didn't. I left when I had no other choice. The moment I knew I couldn't stay, I was 38 years old. I'd lived through a childhood that hardened me, a marriage that bruised me, and a silence I carried like a second skin. But one day, the pain of staying finally outweighed the fear of going. People imagine a dramatic movie-style exit, but leaving wasn't glamorous. It's quiet, it's lonely, and it's terrifying. I remember packing my life into cardboard boxes with hands that shook, not from excitement, but from pure fear. I didn't know where I'd land. I didn't know how I'd survive. And I sure didn't know who I'd be without the life that I was leaving behind. But I knew this. If I didn't go, I wasn't going to make it. So I left. Just like that. I can still remember the drive, 300 miles, $300, and a car full of the only courage I could manage, which quite honestly wasn't much. And worry sat beside me the whole drive. It talked nonstop. You won't survive on your own. You'll never make enough money. What if you can't find work? And what if he follows you? What if you've made the biggest mistake of your life? Worry's a bully, and that day Worry had a microphone. But I kept driving, not because I felt strong, but because going backward was no longer an option. I was starting over with nothing but fear. When I arrived, I had no job, no friends, no plan, just family who loved me, but couldn't fix the mess I was in. They did offer me a room, though, until I could land on my feet. And then there was my youngest son, 14, who would follow me down. He was at the age where everything in life is confusing, even on a good day. He tried. He really did. But one day he came to me with tears streaming down his face and said he wanted to go back. It was the single most heartbreaking moment of my life. And I let him. I sat on the edge of my bed afterward, sobbing so hard I could barely catch a breath. And in that moment, worry wrapped itself around me so tightly, I thought I might suffocate. This is it, I thought. This is the worry that will break me. But it didn't. I woke up the next morning, and the next, and the next. Life's like that. Sometimes heartbreak doesn't kill you, it just cracks you open, so something new can grow. I took the first step, and then the next one. Jobs were scarce, but I needed to eat. I needed to pay rent. So I took what work I could find, cleaning houses for $4.50 an hour, driving out of town with no gas money. I lasted 3 months. I couldn't live on that. So I took a leap. I did something only worry could have pushed me into. I started my own cleaning service. Not because I dreamed of one, because I didn't have room for dreams at that time in my life. I had $300, remember? So I printed flyers and I walked through the upscale neighborhoods and stuffed mailboxes like a woman possessed. And people actually called. They didn't care that I was scared. They didn't care that I was new. They just needed their houses cleaned. And you know something funny? That cleaning business ended up buying me a house. Not bad for someone who used to stick her head in toilets for a living. I guess I should thank the porcelain queens. You paid the bills. But the real miracle wasn't the money. It was this. Every time I worried I wouldn't make it, I did. Every time I thought I was alone, I wasn't. Every time I thought I couldn't start again, I did. So now, looking back, as I sit here at 82, I see that terrified 38-year-old woman me, and I wish I could hold her hand because here's what she didn't know. She was stronger than the life she was escaping. She was braver than the worry that tried to stop her. And she was capable of building a life she hadn't even imagined yet. That woman thought she was leaving everything behind. But the truth is, she was walking toward the rest of her life. A life where she would eventually start businesses, build a newspaper, a wee one, mind you, write books in her 70s, launch a YouTube channel in her 80s, and finally found her voice. Worry almost stopped me from ever becoming the woman talking to you right now. Almost. Here's what that day taught me. Worry predicts disaster, but disaster rarely arrives. Courage doesn't feel like courage when you're using it. It feels like survival. You don't have to know the whole path, just the next step. Starting over isn't a weakness, it's the bravest thing you'll ever do. Here's a question I have for you. Have you ever had a moment where you knew you couldn't stay? Even though leaving scared you to death? I'd love to hear it in the comments. And if you're standing at the edge of a decision right now, if something in your life is whispering, you can't stay here, let me tell you something from 82 years of living. You're stronger than your worry, and your life isn't over. It's waiting. I'll leave you now to ponder what I've shared. And until the next time, take care, keep smiling, love ya, bye for now.